yeah, Villainy Zero, if you will, who was actually playing a lot of the last, had a lot of playtime last season, and then they just put Kaiser in all of playoffs, and they just absolutely smashed everybody, which was actually surprising, because no one, I wouldn't say people, I think they were like, maybe underestimated. That's the word I'm gonna use. But out the doors, 3-3 from O2, Element Mystic with the 3-2-1 Doha Sombra. Of course Doha's gonna be on Sombra. Maybe a slightly weaker frontline because they don't have that diva. But now already giving up that high ground. Seems Element Mystic, the point will be unlocked shortly, so they want to get ready to cap that first. Kind of surprising you don't want to duel it out on that high ground first. Maybe use their cooldowns too early. I knew that would have been just a bad fight to take. They gave up that space. Now they're having fun on the high ground. Dropping down. Both teams preventing that first cap from going through. This is a very passive Element Mystic. I would have been thinking they would just run at O2 Blast, but both teams respecting each other. Grinds. It's going to be about breaking down that shield. A little extra damage going in from the top from Sparkle, having that high ground position. But extra damage mitigation from having Krong on that diva. He also has the potential to dislodge people from that high ground with those boosters. But now already an EMP from Doha, and he drops it on O2 Blast. Every single member, they didn't even have time to get their first trans, let alone their first barrier. Doha has already built up that first EMP quickly, and he can kill stuff. Doha been known as one of the best Sombras in Korea. Probably the best, well, I would say best in the world. There's probably some other people to contend with that, but he's been discovered. No longer invisible, but translocates out. And now Element Mystic have a grab shatter to play with. O2 Blast have a barrier. They don't have the trance yet. They'll have it in about a second. Now they have it. Grab first from Element Mystic, but they seem to just give up a lot of space to O2 Blast. They like to just almost play like a poke comp, where they just throw in a lot of right clicks, build up their ults, wait for O2 Blast to make the move. There's the grab first from Sparkle, Transcendence from Youngbong, and also from MCD. Both teams survive. Both nice and healthy too, by the way. Now shatter to shatter. You can see they actually have to spread out a little bit. Actually, EMP comes first from Doha, and the shatter. Oh, Element Mystic have used so much. But Sparkle almost has another grab, and he used it at the start of this fight. So that's going to put them especially in the driver's seat coming up for the next fight. Element Mystic cleaning things up, 60% and more. O2 Blast gonna be behind, probably because they lost Proper earlier on in that fight, who's been actually an outstanding Zarya himself. That was actually a really aggressive Sombra. He just stood in their face like that. Alright, now can Kaiser catch them off guard with a shatter? No. Well, they're kind of to the grab first. He could counter shatter. He gets stunned and even charged out of the situation. Element Mystic, easy clap with that grab. And they have an EMP to rely on next fight. O2 Blast, this is really rough. Proper is just not able to get any grab charge from losing the fight so early. 90% plus, Element Mystic, can they start this one off clean? O2 Blast, it's their rival, they want to tango. EMP from Doha, O2 Blast. Nomo can't even play the game. He had trance too and he got caught by it. Funneling through these small doorways. Doha realizes those are the best times to EMP, and even Element Mystic have leftover ultimates. This is such a strong showing from these Grand Champions of Showdown and last season. If you're wondering, I'm new to Contenders Korea. Oh, Kaiser showing off, but your last round, it don't count. Element Mystic, if you're wondering, hey, who are the best teams in Korea right now? Element Mystic, obviously, just by stats. Runaway, you would see in the standings. I know I talk a lot about Runaway, but again, one of those big champions of one of the most known teams here, actually at the bottom-ish, middle-ish of the standings because of a Game 5 to Funi, and also a Game, not a Game 5, a loss 3-1 to GC Busan Wave. So, sticking to this match now, round 2 on Downtown, Element Mystic. Okay, they wanted to tease me with the Genji goats. I think Avast called it GG Oats or Goats, but no, not gonna happen. 3-2-1, Element Mystic. O2 Blast sticking with the 3-3. What I liked about O2 Blast last season is that they actually put Krong on the Hanzo. when they were facing Sombras, because this forced them to go back to the D.Va because he's putting in so much damage. He's being such a nuisance. You see O2 Blast haven't adapted their composition to try and mirror the 3-3, or sorry, the 3-2-1 Sombra. I don't really remember O2 Blast really caring about ever playing a Sombra last season. Of course, things change. But so far, Doha, 90% on an EMP. He's gonna do it again. First cap, and if they really wanted to, they drop the EMP. Of course, Doha wants to put pain into O2 Blast. So that first cap will go to Element Mystic. So they don't want to play too aggressive because they did lose their main tank during that engagement. Takoyaki will be back, and hey, I say they don't want to play aggressive, and then there's Hanbin. So, which actually kind of reminds me, Hanbin used to be, if I remember, the D.Va player. Now he's picking up the Brig role. But anywho, next fight, Element Mystic. They have the lead, getting closer to the grab. Myungbong has been a little bit behind on these transcendences compared to MCD, but that's okay. He's got it now. Just a second behind. I'm a little critical. Oh my god, Krong! Krong ate the grab, everybody. That's how you shut down Element Mystic. Now, Proper's grab can pop. Do they need it? They actually just killed a lot. Pelican is killing a lot. They didn't need to use the grab. So O2 Blast are in a perfect position to now take this next fight and even up the score. And I say even up the score, yeah, sure they had the grab, but you can't eat EMPs. Fun fact, Doha will be coming back with one. He has those almost every fight. He's scary. O2 Blast, seeing where Element Mystic are coming from, having the grab. Takoyaki also has the shatter. Can't use it if you're hacked, by the way. But this could be an opening play Element Mystic are looking for. Doha already has to translocate out. And he's gonna have it soon, but it took him a little bit of time to get it. That's okay. Now O2 Blast are about to even up the score. Ooh, that's the EMP. Shatter used earlier from Kaiser. Transcendence, great timing from Youngbong. So despite getting EMP'd from Doha, O2 Blast retaliate with a Shatter Transcendence. So great heads up plays, playing the lines of sight of the different buildings around the map. Now O2 Blast really have used everything. Got a barrier left though. But now the next thing Element Mystic have to work with is a grab. So can they hopefully chunk down the forces of O2 Blast before that barrier is done? You're gonna keep your eyes on Sparkle. He's gonna be looking for the grab opportunity. Mondu is hacked, but the grab isn't ready yet. But hey, Sparkle is 100% energy. Doesn't need it. Doesn't need to use the grab. They take it back. Putting pressure onto the O2 Blast supports. Point back and control for Element Mystic. Ooh, and they have a grab to still play with. This is great, but now Proper has it too. We've seen a lot of teams grab v grab, but in a neutralized fight, Element Mystic is going to benefit because they still have control of the point. They can wait it out. Barrier to barrier too. See how O2 Blast will take this. Takoyaki also has a shatter. You can see he might be trying to catch people off guard. The grab is thrown first from Proper. Sparkle doesn't throw his. It's not going to be a grab fight until now. O2 Blast couldn't finish the job, but Element Mystic looking to do just that. Without a main tank, though, this is going to be Struggle City. So O2 Blast step onto the point. They chase away the stragglers of Element Mystic. At 83% now, Element Mystic head into last fight territory where Doha has to be our Lord and Savior for the team. Where last time he EMP'd, they were able to counter with a Shatter, I believe, Shatter and a support ultimate. See what they can do now. Myungbong has to keep himself hidden from this EMP. Element Mystic coming out the gates. In overtime, there's Doha. There's a perfectly timed Transcendence, staying out of line of sight. Shatter used from Takoyaki during the Transcendence, so everyone from O2 Blast is still alive. O2 Blast now disengaging, chasing after Element Mystic, it seems. But they're fighting back. Element Mystic are fighting back. Hanbin's popping off. O2 Blast are missing. Proper has another grab, but by himself and Myungbong, that is not enough to pierce through Element Mystic. Oh, 100 to 99 will conclude that second round. Element Mystic starting off with map 1, boost on over their rival O2 Blast. Pretty exciting stuff. It's hard to say criticism. I think both these teams have been incredibly close. I think O2 Blast are starting to find ways to counter the EMP opportunities that are coming out of Element Mystic, mainly staying out of line of sight forehead. Youngblood just literally being so far away he could trance and come in. O2 Blast are starting to figure things out. But I think through the chaos, they really started to fall apart. You see, they got really aggressive, used a ton of cooldowns, and then Element Mystic, mainly Hanbin's popping off with the rally, were able to sustain and keep themselves composed. So, Element Mystic up 1-0. We're gonna head to a quick break, and we'll see you guys for map 2. Hey, we're in map 2, everybody. Element Mystic started off strong. Now, can they do just that on their attack? Temple of Anubis. Yes, Assault is map 2. You are not confused. Hybrid will be map 3. Bit of a swapperoo there. Now, out the gates. 3, 2, 1. No surprise from Element Mystic. Hanbin will be on that brig, like I said before, usually that D.Va player, at least from last season, if I remember correctly, that was the case. O2 Blast, well, nothing phases them. Still on the 3-3. There's a lot of teams in Contenders Korea that are able to position their supports away from the EMP, and they just try and survive through the EMP with well-timed support ultimates. There's really nothing else you can do other than that. It's Element Mystic now towards the left side. Kaiser's gonna be waiting there patiently. Unique did spot this out over the top on that Lucio. Getting some information. Could also go for a boop play, but somehow Proper finds MCD, and this is not something I expected. I did not see this coming. And as soon as they get that first pick, O2 Blast just run them over. It's very controlled aggression at the moment. Hey, even somehow getting a fire strike on a Doha? Pretty flashy stuff. But now O2 Blast, no ultimates yet. It was kind of a dull fight in terms of not a lot of damage going through. But now Kaiser getting closer to the Shatter means that Element Mystic might, well, not want to go towards the left side from their perspective. Now quickly speeding towards the right. You can see Kaiser and friends dropping down to meet them. But now Element Mystic have the high ground, and O2 Blast rotating now towards the point to meet them. Now Element Mystic get to choose when they want to engage. And Kaiser knows, well, they can drop on top of me and I will kill them with my Shatter. But MCD will have to keep himself safe. With the Transcendence, that'll be their saving grace. Or they're actually probably waiting for Doha to have that EMP. And then Kaiser will be really screwed there. Probably realizing that. Backing up, he actually gets booped forward, instantly eliminated with the EMP from Doha. You can see the Transcendence was used from Youngbong, and maybe an overinvestment of the grab from Sparkle. Probably thought O2 Blast were going to engage harder than that. Still a clean fight. Hey, that's awesome. You didn't have to waste too much time. What's not so awesome is the fact that you used EMP and grabbed that fight. Those are some game-winning ultimates you would have needed for point B, which is the raid boss of Temple of Anubis. Maybe of all Assault maps. Where O2 Blasts are going to have everything. They didn't use any ultimates, smart of them. Sure, they give up point A, but now they could stop the snowball from Element Mystic. Grab self-destruct. Krong can use it to get a second life. Zone out the area. Element Mystic going towards the right. Forcing O2 Blast towards the left. It's gonna be Shatter too. I mean, that's the only thing Element Mystic have to work on. Transcendence used against the Growl from Proper. Element Mystic still lose a Brig. And MCD went really in a weird position. He went into the face of Kaiser, maybe trying to direct his team, like, let's kill Kaiser with the power of Trance. And no, that's not gonna happen. So, O2 Blast only had to use a Grav and Rally. Element Mystic had to use the Trance. So now it'll be Element Mystic's turn to possibly have a winnable fight with 4 minutes and 30. That would be a pretty cute time bank. Grav and EMP at the ready for Element Mystic. And now, what side did they choose to take? Seems a lot of teams like towards the right. Like to not be choked up going towards the left, possibly, especially when 2 Shatters are online. Element Mystic now approach the point. EMP from Doha. Shatter on top of it. O2 Blast already missing Proper. Transcendence from Youngbomb perfectly timed. Able to stay out of line of sight. There it is. Krong needs the second grab, I believe. Sparkle wishes he had that one. But Element Mystic are still in a winnable fight. Even the barriers are from Monju. But hey, when Sparkle is popping off. Nothing can stop him. Zell and Mystic now can claim their first take. O2 Blast, though, spawns are so close. How are they going to retaliate? They can deny the third take, but they have to get back quick. And they can't! They got killed off so quickly. And we're not able to get back. I really expected a recontest from O2 Blast. 3 minutes and 42 will be their time bank. We're going into the next round. There's a quick replay of the EMP shatter setup. Getting proper out was a good move. He might be like, lol, solo ults, but no. If you can take the Zarya out, often that is going to be the target of focus for a lot of teams because that 100% Zarya energy puts out a lot of DPS, probably a most amount of DPS on your team. Even despite having that barrier, O2 Blast just didn't have enough damage without that Zarya to recontest. Heading into the next round now, O2 Blast have to finish the map to keep this fight going. And a pretty successful time bank for Element Mystic. What, it took them 2 or 3 fights? Only 1 for point A. O2 Blast want to make that quick time too. Still sticking with the Rhine 3-3. O2 Blast don't budge. I've already mentioned that. They've experimented with different ways of forcing the Sombra away from some teams. And from what my memory serves, is they really haven't run much of Sombra themselves. And even teams like Runaway, who were known as the 3-3 gods last season, even now they're experimenting with Sombra. They're going over to DPS, so I wonder if O2 Blast are gonna experiment away from the 3-3 one day. It seems they've been finding ways to counter the EMP, but not on Temple of Anubis so far. It's out the gates. Doha gets the information. He knows what's coming, the Rhine 3-3. Now Takoyaki on the Winston. This is an interesting approach and exactly why O2 Blast going towards the left. They want to deny that space from Takoyaki, who's going to be looking to build Primal as quick as possible. Now O2 Blast approaching the point, and if they are able to get on the point, this is going to be a struggle for Element Mystic because they have to use their cooldowns properly. It's going to be Takoyaki hopping in and out of the point, denying that objective time, and trading that with Hanbin on that Diva. It's now no longer on the brig. So running the, actually just noticed, yeah, the triple tank dive with a Doha, of course on the Sombra, but with a Mercy on us, so that's really not typical. Mercy, especially vulnerable, usually only use Mercy if you're going to have divided forces like DPS or a Pharah. Sparkle missing from the fight already. O2 Blast putting on a clinic at the moment, and mainly they haven't needed to use much, or if any, ultimates. They can go into point B with a grab. Element Mystic, though. Yeah, they get off that Mercy. I wasn't sure what the plan was with that. Maybe thought if they had a split defense on the different high grounds like Unique was doing, flying to one and then the other, but not much utility, not finding that resurrect opportunity. So now, a Lucio Ana is what they have to work with. A lot less healing, no armor advantage without that Brig. O2 Blast now towards the left. They have the grab. EMP encounter from Doha, but it doesn't stop the fight. It doesn't stop the pain that O2 Blast are putting on. MCD does give the nano Takoyaki, but he is joining everyone else in the spawn room. O2 Blast gonna get that second tick. Element Mystic coming back. At least they can have a recontest. Bringing back the Hammond. Someone had to touch. It had to be him. And now we get to see a Doha Doomfist, but for a whole 5 seconds. Because O2 Blast capped it just as fast as Element Mystic did. As you'll see the final time rack up, 3:42 versus 5 minutes and 55. Boy! Well, looks like we have a special guest. Drum roll, AVRL from Contenders Pacific. How are you? If you hear me. Maybe not. Well, tech issues have been hitting everyone. Maybe it's a curse, actually. Heurix got hit with it, and now he's transferred the tech bug to AVRL. But, oh, I didn't unmute you. There we go. Now can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh my god,
Fantastic.
I can hear you. Oh my god.
We're good. We're in.
This is
Here to
not
relieve
stuff.
you of your solo casting for the evening with the last match.
Yes. Hopefully you got to catch some of it, but hey.
Yeah, so I got most of
second
Temple
round.
Anubis. What's really interesting about this so far for O2 is that Myeongbong isn't actually playing the Ana. Usually at Pack Showdown he was playing a lot of Ana specifically against Doha, so they're relying a lot on the Zen here, so I'll be interested to see what he does.
Well, out the gates, Element Mystic. Somber 3-2-1 as usual. But they have to do this a little quicker. I mean, O2 Blast. Oh yeah, it was Element Mystic that did this weird Mercy on us defense. So that kind of costed them a point A defense that could have been much better.
Offense though, they got a pretty good read on the defense because they see the Ryan as well, so they're going to roll out with their own Ryan, and this is going to give them much better transition into B once they get there.
Oh my god, and O2 Blast just ran them over already. Quick ult charge too.
That's a big problem. And speaking of ult charge though, what's not quick is Doha, unfortunately, this time around. And like, this is usually the kind of guy where he's really quick at charging EMPs, but because they're fighting so quickly, right, he's only at 34%. That's really not where you want to be at the moment. It's Doha. Waiting to see if Element Mystic can try and make a better rotation. They got intercepted last time. Kaiser's already sitting above 70, so he's going to be doing some damage.
Oh, jeez, MCD is down already. Element Mystic now. Do they think this is a winnable fight? They still continue without him. And yeah, you're right, Doha is not as quick. I mean, on Busan, he was building it up within a fight, and O2 Blast are still chasing. Takoyaki could get a shatter here if he'd want to, but he's so low health, he just can't. Kaiser, nothing can stop the eye of the Kaiser. And Element Mystic have to reset again.
That's honestly not a bad reset by Element Mystic in terms of just saving stuff, right? Because you want to see some ults come out of O2. The big problem is you haven't seen Kaiser shatter yet, so Takoyaki holds onto his. That's fine, but now we're in a space where both teams got a lot of ults online. Myeongbong is going to have the Transcendence for Doha's EMP as well, so that's important.
That's important as Element Mystic still on the right side, want that high ground advantage. Doha gets ready with the EMP, but is his team ready? He just pushed the front line, Shutter with it! Of course he's ready, but Myeongbong actually body blocks with the Transcendence. Gravis plan B for Sparkle. Element Mystic have used so much. Minute 44, still cleaning things up. O2 Blast will give this one up, but Proper still wants the grab.
That's really weird because they kind of saved it. Mandu dies about 96%. Okay, this point's about to go over now. You actually have a few ultimates left. You got the rally, you have Earth Shadow, you have Grav, but these don't get used in time. They wait quite a while. Proper finally used the Grav, but by then I think the damage is well and truly done. So Element Mystic kind of just take this one. But at the same time, look, there's still a decent amount of ults for O2 on that B defense, and you really do need to see Element Mystic get a tick or two, or attempt to really make this cap happen because there's so much time on O2's attack later.
Yeah, Element Mystic have to use both Grav and EMP, I believe, in that point A fight, but thankfully Doha has been better with that uptime. He's gonna have that. But Myeongbong had to use a Transcendence, so he's not gonna have that. You gotta have Mondu hiding for it. Self-destruct defense from Krong. Element Mystic used the barrier early. Doha gets stunned as he went for, well, he didn't have EMP, but as he was probably looking to farm for more, already has to translocate out. Element Mystic have to take a second before they use it.
They don't have to reset just yet because Doha survives, he still has the EMP. This time Myeongbong does not have a Transcendence, so this is probably the best time for him to go.
Oh, the best time, EMP, but Monty was ready with the barrier. O2 Blast is still alive, Kaiser is not! Instantly melted! Element Mystic, high energy, they're playing perfectly together, they're running them over, and Doha's even assisting as the Sombra, and there's that first and now second tick.
And don't really see O2 contesting this any further. Myeongbong, if he survives, he's probably one that comes out on Transcendence, but he just spent, you know, timing-wise, unfortunately, didn't quite have the trans ready. Mandu does have a sound barrier, obviously, but I don't think that's really the ideal kind of counter. There's a good world where he gets caught as well, so good double cap there by Element Mystic overall. You do, again, need to see them pushing this into another time bank, because 5:55, I think we are expecting O2 Blast to pretty much take us there ourselves. So 4-4 on the scoreline would not be too surprising.
Yeah, O2 Blast had such a quick take. 6 minutes is a humongous time bank. Point A, I think, was first fight. Point B was maybe first, second fight. So can they do these exact thing? But I think the main thing was that Element Mystic on their defense were running this Mercy Ana, which I don't think worked out, or at least O2 Blast were able to just get on point and not allow that Mercy to travel as fast or around as they would have liked. But we'll see if O2 Blast with 5 minutes and 55 if they can be leaving a time bank like you said.
I'm not too sure if Unique's going to be doing that much better on the Lucio. I think the argument would be, look, if you're setting up for B, you want to make that transition easy again. Obviously, you want to play Lucio for B, but 4-point A, because they're mostly playing a lot of high ground here, you want to have the Mercy flying in between and all that kind of stuff. It's probably not the worst, especially for a comp where you are relying on Doe as EMP. So I think in terms of timing here, once again, for O2, tempo is going to be very important. You can see them probably just rush straight in.
O2 Blast, stay on the 3-3. See if Doha can maybe get that EMP before the first fight, but Proper just has to be careful of not maybe grabbing in these losable fights. He had that mistake earlier. Hanbin going for a bit of ult charge and maybe trying to disrupt them. As now Takoyaki got a little bit of ult charge, but not enough at the moment.
First rotation, pretty clean from O2. Doesn't take too much damage there. Doha's about 35, and that's a timer you really have to take a look at.
Takoyaki. Oh. Sorry, cut out there. Didn't mean to interrupt you, but Takoyaki is getting close to that Primal Rage. Should get it with a kill, but oh, he got displaced. And now you can see O2 Blast. They can step onto the point. Don't have many ultimates. Were able to build much during that fight. Element Mystic, though, they can still rotate in and out. Buy time for Takoyaki to get back, and there's that first tick.
And you're still waiting for EMP. If he gets this soon, you might be able to contest it here, but in a world, I think Element Mystic might just want to save this for B.
Well, that's going to be it. O2 Blast get that point A in quick succession in that first fight even, and Takoyaki immediately switches to that Rhine. It's going to be important for this coming fight, but can O2 Blast survive, keep Myungbong safe for Doha's EMP coming up?
He should already be hiding at the moment. As you can see, O2 are going to go in pretty quick.
Oh, EMP trans, yeah, perfect execution from O2, staying alive. A bit of a disruption. I think some people got knocked down, but there's that second tick here for O2 Blast. Now, they even have a self-destruct from Krong as Element Mystic don't even have a chance to recontest. We're going into the third round of attacks, everybody.
And Element Mystic just haven't found a fight yet, right? Because they're looking for this EMP play and they're waiting for Takoyaki and all of this, but once they get onto B, you already have the snowball coming from O2. You've just swapped onto a Reinhardt, and the problem here is because you started on the Winston and you're looking for that early primal pressure to then kind of snowball that A defense, him dying loses that A point super quick because there's no one else in Element Mystic that can really do much about it while they're waiting for this EMP. He's nearly got a primal rage, doesn't get a chance to use it because now he's going to go onto Ryan. He needs to find a way to counter Kaiser, who is going to have a shatter pretty soon. I think all things kind of lining up for O2 as well. Myungbong is going to have the Transcendence as they push into B, and Element Mystic just don't have the counter plays ready. All they had was the EMP to rely on, and that got countered by Myungbong personally. And so Element Mystic, again, I think they're getting out-tempoed by O2 pretty heavily so far in the series, in this map rather.
It does feel like I should be reading donations right now, like a game's done quick, because how does O2 Blast have 5 minutes and 7, and we're going into a third round? They've barely lost a minute in their last attack.
It's been 2 double caps in a row where O2 Blast walk through A, pretty much uncontested first attempt, walk onto B, uncontested again, 1 attempt on that as well. So 2 double caps in a row, 507 after 2 entire attacking phases. I mean, Element Mystic probably don't get B again here. They'll be lucky.
Yeah, with 1 minute, and can you even get an EMP? Can you get a grab this early? O2 Blast will be waiting for them. It's a Rhine v Rhine, but Doha still in the Sombra.
We still got to see how they want to rotate this one because it's unlikely. Okay, Doha charges EMP pretty quickly, but does he get it in time for Element Mystic to find fire, or does someone get picked? Unique.
Yeah, and MCD too, so maybe you could have walked away very slowly without your Lucio, but without your supports, that's just dead in the water. The silver lining is maybe they lost this quick enough.
That's the only fight they're allowed to lose, right? Because in 1 minute, okay, they got about 20 seconds remaining now, waiting for respawns. Doa's at 34%. Probably not going to see anything really big out of him here unless this fight goes for really long, which is probably not going to. So Takoyaki's the one you have to watch because he's closest to the shatter, but so is Kaiser. O2 Blast are in a super favorable position to hold.
And there's the music of death because Element Mystic's last chance is coming up, and what do you have? You have maybe a shatter, but Kaiser will not let you move. Element Mystic are still going for a long. Someone has to touch the point. Element Mystic completely forgot. This was a 1 minute attack. They were doing this long rotation. They should have just sped right the point.
Doe was actually contesting. He got chunked out though, and this is the kind of pressure that you have to have against a Sombra player where he was solo capping the point just to put some pressure on it, make sure the overtime ticks over. But as he goes down to like, what, 50 HP, he has to translocate away. The next person to touch the point isn't there because Element Mystic are still on their current rotation. They are still trying to go through O2. And this is partly what's so good about this A defense so far is that because O2 know they're playing against Sombra, they're playing quite aggressively into every single rotation for Element Mystic. This is why I'm saying Element Mystic are not allowed to find fights. They're not able to get the fights that they're looking for because O2 Blast are consistently intercepting those rotations every single time. And well, as you get into overtime, Doe is also not helping, so kind of 5v6.
This is a real chance. I mean, if you're a betting person, I really hope you'd be betting on O2 Blast, evening up the series. 5 minutes and 7 to get that 33%. Element Mystic, I mean, going with what they know best, but this time with a Winston.
And they also now can only draw Wright because if they even complete a hold here, that's the best they can do is just hold on to their 1-0 lead, which is pretty decent, but very likely now 507 O2 Blast could even cap both points again in this time, and they only need 1 tick, which is more than enough time. Element Mystic have to play for, I guess, the first time on the map, the A defense really cleanly, where no one gets picked off early and Doa is allowed to get in.
He's looking for that initial damage. Even Pelican on the— oh my god! Pelican! He just flick shot him! Ow!
That is such a big punish. That was their only chance to get Doha ready, to get Doha in position. Now they can't even really afford to wait too long for Doha. O2 Blast is going to be on the point pretty soon.
O2 Blast, they're coming in like a train towards the left. And now they know that's their opportunity. They only need 33%. Element Mystic have to keep rotating in and out without Doha. He'll be back pretty soon. But all they can do is stall. They're still running the Mercy on it. They're going to try to see Unique flying back and forth. But you need to keep someone constantly on this point. Takoyaki doesn't have Primal. He could be out if they're not careful.
He's nearly dead himself. He ate a brick stun. Might just survive for now. Pelican actually goes down first.
Oh, O2 Blast. Still cleaning things up. They did take care of Element Mystics, at least both of their supports are now dead. This would be impossible for Element Mystic to make a miracle happen. O2 Blast, take that 33% speed running Temple of Anubis, and even up our series.
And such a tough defense in a way against O2 Blast, who, you know, when, in a way, Element Mystic being so pigeonholed into running Sombras now, and O2 Blast, kind of the opposite, right? This is exactly what we saw last season. This is exactly what we saw in the Pacific Showdown as well. You know pretty much now, you saw in the replay as well, getting that first pick from Doha, you know probably where he's going to start. You also have a good idea of like, okay, he's going to look for farm here, Pelican on the Widowmaker. You probably don't make that shot a lot of the time, but if you do make that shot, especially on an important push like this, you pretty much just take the point. And to be fair, like they even lost a member while rotating, but hey, it ultimately looked pretty easy for O2.
Well, it looked almost easy for Element Mystic after that Busan win, but O2 Blast clearly Assault Kings. But we have Hybrid coming up. It is halftime. We're going to 3 to a quick break, and we'll see you guys soon.